What a year it's been for the world, let alone basketball, especially NBA basketball. But the truth is, it's been the craziest season since being a fan. Certain things that have happened, seeing the dismantling of the All-Star game, whether it was from the players or, of course, Adam Silver, to the great trade that was made that no one knew was coming. Even what I hear is the Clutch team, they didn't even know. LeBron's team, they didn't know that Luka would be going to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. They say it's the halfway time throughout the league right now, but really it's, kind of the first break. It's over halfway. And I'll tell you this, you see where I'm dressed, I have no problem saying Celtics are the favorite. Also, I have no issue saying that Lakers made the best trade in NBA history, and the Dallas Mavericks made the worst. So, that was weeks ago. Let's talk about the All-Star game. The NBA All-Star game. When I heard that Adam Silver was specifically trying to make the All-Star game a bigger thing, a happier thing, a cooler thing, I was like, all right, cool. The competition was always the key, that players wanted to play and actually be there. Well, it seemed like the players, we didn't even get to see if they wanted to be there, because whatever the dysfunction of the league was, or whatever trying to get extra advertisers, Mr. Beast and all these breaks in between all these commercials, I feel like it was a sales call to sell commercials. But when no one's watching, what are the advertisers reaching? I didn't hear one person talk about any commercials, or we never do when it comes to basketball. But the point is, that shouldn't overshadow the game. When they talk about it was like 2.5 hours of BS, and actually 34 minutes of actual basketball, I don't know where we go from there. Especially during the year that they said, and Adam Silver was out there, we want these players to take it serious, we want this. Well, then you do the opposite and don't take it serious. You obviously didn't by all the programming. So you're sending these mixed messages, and I don't understand it, but the All-Star game was by far the worst I've ever seen. I've had a few, what's my top 5? People say, but this is instantly number 1. It was so bad. It was so horrible. I couldn't believe I was watching G League players actually get a pedestal to play, when there are a bunch of great NBA players who could have been that we were snubbed team. That would have been cool. How about that? A we were snubbed team. Do you think that would have been? I think so. The dunk contest was cool, just because of one guy. We obviously know no one wants to compete. No great stars have ever competed since Vince Carter in my life. Yeah, I think so. So, that's one thing. 3-point contest, it's up and down. It's boring, it's fun, but it is what it is. Now, here's my big thing about the whole All-Star weekend. Forget the game. What Chris Paul and Wemby tried to do was literally a slap in the face to the fans. Like, come on, man. Compete. That showed that dudes don't want to compete. Like, oh, let me win. But you got to... The way they tried to go over the rules during that skills challenge was so ridiculous and so just cheating. And obviously they got disqualified, but it just kind of showed the whole, to me, if Wemby's the new guy, the new face of the NBA, I think Wemby should be looking at stuff like this and what makes these champions. It's when you pay money to see somebody play, And Wemby plays. I'm not taking that away from him. But stuff like that was just, it shows maybe the new direction or the new thought process of a generation that I don't fully understand. Probably because we're separated by phones and stuff like that. Having a conversation is different. People are very easily offended. But man, it was a bunch of ego stuff for that All-Star game, and I'm very sad that it went that way, especially after this year is supposed to be a great year. But yeah, I would say definitely the worst All-Star game in my lifetime that I've ever seen, hands down, not even close. And the only thing that saved it was hockey. But we'll move forward. Tonight, back to what matters. This, right? NBA's back. Lakers